Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Lavender Lay. I'm an intuitive tarot reader here on YouTube, and I do anime themed readings. Disclaimer, you don't have to actually have watched the anime that the reading is based upon. It's just, I enjoy anime, so this is something fun for me. And if you're returning, thank you so much for subscribing to my channel and your continued support. I truly appreciate it. And so yeah, let's go ahead and get into what this reading is about. This is messages from your inner child themed around Spy X family. Or just Spy family. I don't know. Spy X family, however you say it. But yeah, we're going to be getting some messages from your inner child. As I'm doing this reading, I am listening to a healing frequency to heal your inner, to heal my inner child as well as so I can bring healing messages to you for your inner child. But yeah, let's go ahead. Got a couple questions that we're going to answer. You'll have to forgive me that this is a new setup. I just moved back to the United States, so everything's different, and I have to get used to that. But yeah, so what we're going to be going over is, with the tarot, we're going to answer, what do they need you to know right now? And then with the oracle cards, we're going to see, what do they want you to heal? How do they want you to take care of them? And then we'll get some final advice. So yeah, we got 3 groups today. Group 1 is going to be Anya, Group 2 is going to be Damien, and Group 3 is going to be Becky. Of course, I had to do the little kids from the show, since this is about healing messages from your inner child. But yeah, characters will be on the screen, so take a moment, pause the video. You can pick whichever character you feel resonates with you the most, whichever character you like the most. You can do a number generator, 1 through 3, and have, a number generator pick for you, whatever you feel called to. And let's go ahead and get started with group number 1. Hey group 1, if you picked Anya, then this is your reading, messages from your inner child. So we're going to get started with the tarot cards. Shuffle them around really quick. Alrighty, make sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm holding these reversed. Let's go ahead and get into it. So, Group 1's inner child, what do you want Group 1 to know? What do you need Group 1 to know right now? What do you need them to know right now? Got the 2 of Pentacles. Ooh, the 4 of Pentacles. The Page of Pentacles in reverse. got the World in reverse. Alrighty, in the back of the deck is the Knight of Wands. So I'll put that over here. So something that came to mind as I was shuffling, especially right after the Two of Pentacles and the Four of Pentacles, is I don't know if you came up in a situation when you were a child where maybe you and your family did not have a lot of money, or you just had struggles. Not even necessarily that you didn't have a lot of money, but your parents could have struggled with money, and you could have felt that and been aware of it. And I feel like your inner child is what they need you to know right now is that you need to let that go. I feel like you might, sorry about the camera. I feel like you're still in this mindset of, I gotta pinch pennies and I gotta save all this money, and I can't spend on, unnecessary things, and I just can't do all these things because what if something bad happens? And I need that money for this, so I can't spend it on the thing that I want because this might be money that I need. And I feel like your inner child is asking you to let go of that you can walk away from that it's not doing anything except holding you back. Especially with this Eight of Cups, because if the Eight of Cups is upright, in the way that it's depicted in the Rider-Waite tarot, the Eight of Cups, you see somebody, walking away from the cups. And I feel like because it's in the reverse, you're having a hard time letting this go. You're having a hard time letting go of that mindset of like, everything's going to just come crashing down, so I need to make sure that I always have money in my account. And not to say that it's not good, to just spend your money and like, do away with, being financially responsible. But at some point you gotta look at it as like, okay, there's financial responsibility, and then there's never letting myself enjoy anything because I'm too scared to actually spend any of my money that I'm making. Because I have this feeling that this group, not to say that you're like the richest person in the world, but I have a feeling like some of the people that are watching this, you do make a decent amount of money to at least live comfortably, as comfortable as you can in like this current state of the world. And so it's not like I don't have this feeling of like you live paycheck to paycheck type of deal is what I'm trying to get. But at the same time, I feel like that's the way that you're living, though, is that you're living paycheck to paycheck. But your inner child is like, hey, it's okay to, spend that little bit of money to, get yourself something nice once in a while. And I feel like that's what they're asking you to do, is like, even if it's just a one-time thing, to spend that money, if you've got the money saved or something, allow yourself that one thing. Allow yourself to have that one thing, and just, the thing that maybe it's something that you've always wanted since you were a child, or maybe it's like an activity that you've always wanted to do when you were a child. Allow yourself to go and do that thing. Allow yourself to go and buy that thing. It wouldn't hurt just the one time. And I know what you might be thinking, oh, but it might be just this one time that I actually give in, and then everything comes crashing down, and then I don't have the money anymore, and then something happens. And I'm like, okay, if something happens, you can't control stuff like that, you know? And you can't let your life be led by the fear of something is going to happen. Emergencies happen every single day, and it's unfortunate that they do, but they do occur, and you can't control when it's going to happen. You know, I get being prepared for those things, but you can't always, you know, live your life in this fear that something is always going to happen, because, you know, life happens. You deal with it when it comes along. And, you know, as long as you make sure that you're prepared to deal with it, like, for example, having an emergency fund or something like that of money saved, you know, there's no harm in having a little bit of fun here and there, you know? So I feel like that's what your inner child really wants to get across to you, is that, you know, you're still living life as if you're that little kid who had no control over what was going on around you. But now, I would hope you're an adult that's watching this. Because if you're not, please click off. I don't read for children, or at least I don't read for minors. I read for people who have full capacity over what's going on in their lives, aka adults. But yeah, there's just that feeling of like, there's this feeling of like, oh, I've got to make sure that I have control over everything that's going on right now, as a way of like, maybe you're trying to relieve the anxiety and it's not really working. I feel like if anything, it's just making your anxiety worse. I'm sorry, my voice is getting kind of hoarse for some reason. Maybe you feel like you can't speak up about what's going on and whatever, or you feel like there's something that needs to be communicated. But yeah, either way, let's see what you need to what does your inner child want you to heal. I already feel like it's this issue with the money, so well, we already know that it's this money thing, but what do they want you to heal? That's way too many cards, so it's a lot of things they want you to heal. What does your inner child want you to heal? We've got Solar Calm with Clarify. You've got Midheaven with Pinnacle. I had so much to say earlier. There we go. We've got Aquarius with Collaborate, and we've got Pisces with Sensitize. So, just for further confirmation, you could have a midheaven in Aquarius or midheaven in Pisces. If you have a midheaven in in Aquarius, you're like me and you have a Gemini rising. And then if you have a Pisces midheaven, you're probably Cancer rising. So that could resonate for you. I feel like what they want you to heal is maybe one, your ties to community, because we've got Aquarius here. So maybe you have an issue with asking for help and your inner child would like you to heal that. And you could also have some mental health things going on with this Pisces, because Pisces is the 12th house, and the 12th house is the house known for like the subconscious and stuff. So anything that has to do with like your mental health, the things that are not seen, I would even go as far as like invisible disabilities, but yeah, anything to do with like the mental, the subconscious, is something that your inner child would like you to heal. Of course, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a therapist or a licensed therapist. So of course, if you do have any diagnoses, please refer to them. I'm not here to offer any sort of medical advice or anything of that sort. I do not have those qualifications. But there is something to be said, within those realms of like getting help for the anxiety that you might be feeling, for especially like the anxiety over whatever lack of control that you feel that you have, especially when it comes to like your finances. I feel like if you're really anxious over your finances, there are resources out there. You could get a financial advisor, and they could direct you to the correct things, or the correct resources to make sure that that your money is always taken care of. And then that could if you have that, what is it called, if you have that that help, it could help relieve your anxiety, because well, my financial advisor said that I was in this great space, so I don't have anything to worry about. Or it's just a matter of like they can help you track your money better, so you don't feel like you don't know where things are going, what's coming in and what's going out, etc. I am going to read from the book for Solar Calm. That's number 16. There we go. When the sun is calm, with few sunspots or solar flares, its steady energy is quiet and suits any turbulence in our solar system. The volume is turned down on all the other aspects of your astrological chart. Telescopes see farther into space. People tend to search for the metaphysical. Plant growth slows down on Earth, but the arts and creative processes often blossom. Politics tend to be opinionated but quiet to attitudes more entrenched. It's a hard time to start a revolution. So the action that the solar calm asks of you is just appreciate the deep, energizing quiet of this time. Work for steady progress and play the long game. Listen to your muse and support the arts. Take a creative approach and work towards positive change within those systems that are now in place with gentle, steady pressure. Find like minds and grow those deep connections. Listen to the quieter voices that are not usually heard, whether this is the whispering voice of your intuition or the subtle voice of the introverts or underrepresented. In romantic relationships, hold hands and look for places of quiet refuge together. Build relationships now that will help you to manifest needed changes when the tide turns and the sun activates. So a challenge you might be experiencing is it is not the time to push ahead or spark change. If you try to motivate practical change in your life or try a totally new approach, it can feel like trying to light a match in the fog. Be patient and the fog will clear in time. And then the gift that this solocon provides, or a gift that you have, meditation helps. Turn the noise down of the outer world and listen with clarity to the knowing within. Let go of the details of the story and feel the call to spirit, to connection, and to the interconnectedness of all existence. In this quiet clarity, you can see far away to the distant stars and come to understand the overarching patterns. Yeah, I feel like there's an overall energy of like, this is the time to really start to prioritize a calmness within yourself. And that's what your inner child would like you to heal, is like bringing about a calmness within yourself. Especially, and I feel like it's going to, especially with this midheaven, bring you closer to the, what's the word that I want to use? To the purpose that you have in this life. But yeah, let's see, how do they want you to take care of them? Inner child, how do you want group 1 to take care of you? We've got look to the stars, and it's the astrological signs. So maybe looking into your birth chart. If it's anything to do with your inner child, a good placement to look at would be your Chiron. Your Chiron is like Chiron is the wound healer. So I would look at your Chiron in order to see like what is the wound that you dealt with in your life, especially as a child, the most, and maybe look into that and see what are the best ways to heal that placement. And then we've got dream journal. So maybe start keeping track of the dreams that you have, especially if you remember them. So maybe keeping a dream journal next to your bed at night, so you can pull it out and write it immediately. I can't show this one on camera, but real quick. So yeah, maybe I don't know why your inner child is asking for that. Maybe you've been celibate for a really long time or something like that, and you haven't let yourself have fun in that way. Yeah, I'm not sure how that would really take care of your inner child, unless, and trigger warning, unless you've had some issues in the past, or you've been through those things as a child, and I'm so sorry if that's the case. They may want you to explore that a little bit more, explore having sex a little bit more, just to heal whatever happened in the past, if that resonates for you. So let's get one more. Two more. So we got burning bowl ritual. So maybe do a burning bowl ritual. What you can do is write down the things that you want to let go of, things that you would like to let go of, release, Write them down on a piece of paper or multiple pieces of paper. And then what you'll do is get a fire safe bowl, and you know, a lighter maybe, and or you can do this in like a bonfire, like a fire pit or something like that if you have that, and then toss those pieces of paper into the fire. If you want it to be a little bit more potent, you could write these things on a bay leaf. But like I said, it's a little bit more potent. So if you write something down that you're not truly ready to let go of, you know, you might be forced to let go of it if you write it on a bay leaf. That's all I'm gonna say. And then we've got some alone time. So yeah, maybe put into your schedule a little bit more often, some time to be alone, some time for quiet refuge, like the solar calm said, and you know, give yourself, you know, maybe like 5 minutes out of the day, do a meditation or something to just be alone with your thoughts for a little bit. So let's get some final advice. Inner child, final advice for your person. Any final advice? Don't give up now, you're almost there. So yeah, whatever you're working on, don't give up now. You are so close to achieving whatever it is that you want to achieve. I read that card real quick before the YouTube gods try to murk me. Final advice. Anything else? I heard no. So yeah, don't give up now. You're almost there. Whatever you're working on, like I said before, you're so close to achieving it. So keep pushing through. Maybe take this advice of you know, how your inner child wants you to take care of them, and it might help you get a little bit even closer to achieving the thing that you would like to achieve. So yeah, that's all that I have for you. Thank you guys so much for tuning into this reading. If you liked the video, please give it a big thumbs up. It really helps me out, helps my channel out, and I would truly appreciate the support. Comment down below, tell me what kind of animes you would like to see me do a themed reading on in the future, or if you know, if you're not an anime watcher, what kind of readings you would like to see in the future, if you have a question that you want answered, that type of deal. If you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button and also the post notification bell so you never miss out on my next reading. And yeah, follow me on my social medias. I am now posting readings on TikTok, so feel free to follow me there. It'll be linked down below. And oh, if you're looking for a private reading, my Etsy shop is also linked down below. If there's not a reading on my Etsy shop that you are looking for specifically, feel free to email me or message me on Instagram, and I will reach out to you directly. But yeah, that's all that I have for you. Thank you guys so much again for trusting me to read your cards, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Hey group 2, if you picked Damien, then this is your reading. Messages from your inner child. So we're gonna get right into it and see, what does your inner child need you to know right now? What do they need you to know right now? We've got the Knight of Cups. What do they need you to know right now? Seven of Swords. Got the Hierophant in reverse. Seven of Pentacles in reverse. That one came out quick. And the King of Pentacles. Alrighty. And the back of the deck is the Queen of Wands. Immediate first thought is, or immediate, like, yeah, first thought, first thing that came to mind is there might be a water sign that's deceiving you at the moment. And you're possibly unable to see it because they might just be really that good at, like, manipulating the narrative. But it's like your inner child can tell. Like, maybe you've had, like, an inkling, like, something feels off, but you couldn't, like, but there was no evidence to, you know, to, like, back up the feeling that you have. And so you kind of, like, been brushing it off, maybe. And I feel like it's, like, it's a deception towards, like, maybe something that they said that they've been building or growing or something. I'm really gonna look into that Hierophant in reverse because this is the anime tarot, so it has archetypes, so it could probably help you with figuring out if this sounds like this person. So let's see, Hierophant is number 5. So, when reversed, this card may indicate that you're relying too much on institutions. Challenge the status quo to make your own path. The reversed Hierophant may also suggest that you're going too much against the grain by rejecting necessary common mores, and that you should instead pay more attention to your elders. It's a reminder to listen to those who have more experience than yourself. So this person could be like somebody that you regard as like an authority figure or something like that, and then somebody who has like maybe you feel like they have more experience than you, something along those lines. Let me look at the Seven of Pentacles. Yeah, when reversed, the Seven of Pentacles advises you to take an objective look at what you're investing in so that you can take proper stock and decide on next steps. Are there any red flags? Have you been ignoring your responsibilities or procrastinating? Are you being efficient or careful in how much you contribute your energy and effort? I truly feel like your inner child is trying to tell you, hey, there's something that you've been investing in. There's possibly somebody that you've been investing in, and they want you to reevaluate and look at what you have invested in this person or in this thing, in case you can't think of anybody in your life that this could possibly fit. And just like reevaluate it and be like, okay, is this really something I should be, investing in? Is there any red flags? Do I feel anything wrong about this? Does anything feel off? Because I really truly feel like you are this King of Pentacles. Like, I feel like you have your life together in all these places, and it's just this one thing that might be preventing you from achieving something truly great. But it's like, it's so good at masking itself, that it's just like, maybe you've had like an inkling, you've had like an intuition, like a feeling with your intuition, and you were like a gut feeling of some sort, but it was just like, I don't know, maybe I'm tripping. No. you should trust your intuition about this thing. Yeah, it's just, there's some sort of like, and even I can't really pinpoint it, because I feel like that's how well it's masking itself, because it's like I can't pinpoint it to like something specific. Normally I would get like a couple of examples would pop up in my head, but I can't, like, there's not really anything popping up. It's just like some sort of deception that's really being well masked. And I can't think of an example of like, there's nothing popping into my head for something specific. But yeah, I'm sure it will resonate for whomever is watching this group. Like, you will have some sort of inkling as to what it is. But I feel like I'm being blocked from knowing like, or at least like having some sort of insight to what it could possibly be. So I'm gonna go ahead and just, with respect and love, move on and go to the next part. But let's see, what does your inner child want you to heal? What do they want you to heal? What do they want you, inner child, what do you want them to heal? How many cards is that? 4, perfect. So we've got second house resources. We've got the Sun card. We've got Descendant. And we've also got Neptune. So, second house is Taurus. Sun is the ruler of Leo. Your Descendant is whatever is the sign that's on the same axis as your ascendant sign. So, for example, I'm a Gemini rising, so my Descendant is Sagittarius, I believe. Yeah, I'm a Gemini rising, so my Descendant is Sagittarius. I was getting confused because I was thinking of, so I was like, no, it's Pisces, but I'm like, no, my South Node is Pisces. But anyways, and then Neptune is the ruler of Pisces. So those could be significant signs in your birth chart. But something that your inner child wants you to heal is the second house, it says resources, but really the second house is really about your self-worth. And I feel like your inner child wants you to really focus on healing your self-worth. And also maybe your relationship with material items. So money, maybe you are somebody that really, really values like luxury items or something like that. Or you just think like, oh, if I gotta spend more money on it, it's worth more to me or something. I don't know. It's more so like, you know, the just anything really material, like something that's tangible, things that you buy. Maybe you're just like, okay, I want the luxury high-rise apartment type of deal, like something along those lines. And your inner child would like you to heal that part of you, like your need for those things. Like, it's one thing if you're like, I'm trying to tread lightly just because finances are always like a touchy subject for a lot of people. Like, want what you like, of course, want what you want. But I feel like you might be wanting these things to the detriment of where you're at currently in life. And there's nothing wrong with wanting to have those things. It's just make sure that you know where you're at, where you currently are placed in life. And whether or not, like, having those things, like, whether or not you're tying those things to your worth. Like, oh, like, once I have these things, like, it'll be, like I don't know, maybe if you're one of those people that, like, you see these things on social media and you want them as well, and it's just like, note, I would say, please keep in mind that sometimes a lot of these people that have these luxury high-rise apartments and all that other stuff, they go into a lot of debt just to get into these places. You would be surprised, like, at how many people that seem like just regular schmegler type of deal or whatever, and they're in so much debt because of trying to keep up with Joneses. So just keep that in mind. When you're wanting these things, you know, and you're wanting these things because you see others having them, you don't know what they did to get those things. Unless they're being transparent about it on social media, like, oh, this is my pay transparency type of deal. But yeah, some people are, you know, just so they can have that luxury high rise, they are paying, using half of their income just to pay for it. So you never know. Anyways, I'm gonna move on from that. But something else I want to say with the sun, this goes right back into it. It could be also your inner child would like you to heal your ego. You know, there could be some ego issues that you have. I would look into what house that you have your sun sign in. For example, if you're like me and you have your sun in the 12th house, right? The 12th house has to do with the subconscious, the things that are unseen, which would be, you know, basically your ego. And having, like, depending on the placement, that's, like, depending on what your sun sign is going to be how you show up in the world almost. Like, it's what people, not what people initially see, but what you get, what you present to people, essentially. So, are you presenting yourself in a way that is for your highest good? Are you presenting yourself in a way that's, like, showing your best self, you know? And then we've got the descendant. The descendant is basically, I'm thinking about South Node, North Node and South Node. But if you think about your ascendant instead of your descendant, your ascendant is who you truly are, you know, and then your descendant is kind of like not necessarily the opposite of that, but it's, give me one moment, because there's not like when you talk words when astrologists talk about like the birth charts and all that other stuff, you don't hear a whole lot of them talking about your descendant. But here's what the book has to say about descendant. While the ascendant describes how you enter the world, the descendant is the place where you invite equal others to come into your world. It describes how you see these peers, what you project upon them, and what you were trained to respect in them. The descendant is where the sun would be at sunset. So basically, like, what I'm getting from this is like, your descendant really is like how you interact with others, or how they interact with you, almost. So maybe look more into like your interactions with other people. Maybe there's something that you need to heal within that. Do you generally have like good interactions with people, or are you always faced with challenges when it comes to interacting with people? Yeah, because it says in the challenge part of the book, you give your power away when instead of working together, you ask others to be what is missing in yourself. So yeah, you could be just like, giving so much away instead of just working on that part of yourself. So, and then we've got Neptune. Neptune really is like, I associate it kind of with like dreams and stuff. So maybe there's something within your dreams that you really need to heal. Like maybe you haven't been working towards your dreams lately. You've kind of just given up on them, or there's something that you've always envisioned for yourself that you wanted to do, and you've kind of just given up on that, like maybe halfway or something like that. And your inner child would like you to really heal that part of yourself that feels like you're not worthy of these dreams. Because you are worthy of these dreams of yours. You had the dream for a reason. There's a reason to all your desires. You know, we all have reasons for our desires, and whether or not those desires come to be, you know, they still are valid. Those feelings are still valid. So maybe you can't achieve all of your dreams, but that doesn't mean you should give up on that. But that doesn't mean you should give up on it. Like, even if you can achieve some of your dreams, isn't that worth it? I personally feel like it is. But yeah, we're going to get into how they want you to take care of them. So, inner child, how do you want group 2 to take care of you? You got clean your space. Your inner child said, get it together, clean up that space. You may not even be like a cluttered person or anything, but they still think you should give yourself like a good tidy up. Give your space a good tidy up. Maybe reorganize some things. You could have grown up in a way that, like, you could have grown up in a space that was, like, very cluttered. Not always, like, what's the word that I want to say? Not always, like, not necessarily, like, dirty, but it was just, like, very disorganized. And so, as a result, you might have become, like, a person that's, like, they value being organized. This came out in group 1. We got look to the stars. Yeah. There might be a collective, that might be a collective energy for people to look to their birth chart. Okay. We got create art. Yeah. I heard finger painting. You might want to do some finger painting. That would really be tapping into your inner child right there. But yeah, create some art, do some painting, maybe do some crafts. Like I just heard crochet. But yeah, get back into that creative realm that you used to be in, and create something. It doesn't even have to be necessarily art. And then we've got a sweet treat. Treat yourself to a sweet treat, whatever that is. I just heard blueberry muffins. Blueberry muffins would be so nice right now. But yeah, get yourself a little sweet treat. Don't go overboard with it, but there's nothing wrong with a little sweet treat here and there. And then we've got make an altar. So an altar can be whatever you want it to be, but making one could be really helpful. You know, it's somewhere where you can go and just sit and be with your thoughts, maybe do some meditations, pray if that's something that you do on a day-to-day basis. You know, it's your space. It's your space to be. It's your spiritual space. So it's whatever you really want it to be. Don't get caught up in it being like, and don't get too caught up in it being like aesthetically pleasing neither. It will, I feel like I'm hearing it will come together in time. So don't focus on like that too much. Especially like if you try to get like inspo ideas. A lot of people have very elaborate altars, and I feel like that will just perpetuate the whole materialism thing that I was talking about earlier. Just let your altar be whatever it wants to be. But inner child, any final advice for your person? Any final advice? There we go. We've got whale shark. Let your heart lead you. You hold an internal roadmap. So yeah, this is your final advice from your inner child. You just really need to let your heart lead you in this life. What the things that you desire, the things that are true to your heart, those are the things that you should be going towards. You know, the things that make you feel warm and fuzzy inside. You know, the things that make you feel like life is truly worth living. The things that make you feel alive and not just existing. Like you truly feel alive. So yeah, that's all that I have for you guys. Thank you so much for tuning into this reading and for trusting me with your cards. If you liked this video, please give it a big thumbs up. Comment down below. Tell me what kind of readings you would like to see in the future, or just if you're an anime watcher, then what animes that you would like me to do a themed reading based upon. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please hit the subscribe button and also the post notification bell so you don't miss out on my next reading. If you're looking for a private reading, my Etsy shop is linked down below. And what else? Oh, I'm also starting to post readings on TikTok, so feel free to follow me there if you want some just like short form type readings or whatever. Or if you're just not able to like sit and watch these, because this is like literally 26 minutes long. But yeah, I'm posting readings on TikTok for the collective, so feel free to follow me over there. That'll be linked down below as well. And I think that's it. Yeah, thank you again so much for trusting me to read your cards, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Last but not least, group 3. If you picked Becky, then this is your reading messages from your inner child. So let's go ahead and get into it, because these readings have been a little bit, they haven't been as long as my typical readings, or it's not my long, they haven't been my like my longest reading. My longest reading was my One Piece one, which you can find on my channel. I posted that maybe a month or two ago. Probably like more like 2 months ago. But yeah, let's get into it. Messages from your inner child. What do they need you to know right now? What does your inner child need you to know right now? What do you need group 3 to know right now? Got the 4 of Swords. I'm hearing them yell in my head, rest, rest. We got the 5 of Cups. And we've got the Tower. I just heard rest before I make you rest. Oh Lord, you've angered your inner child, group 3. Yeah, because we've got that 5 of Cups. So you might be like upset that something didn't turn out the way it did, and it's because you need to rest. We've got the 4 of Cups in reverse. One last card, please. What do they need to know right now? There we go. We've got the 5 of Pentacles in reverse. And the back of the deck is the 8 of Cups. There's something that you need to walk away from. Or there's something that you're walking away from. Or they need you to know that you need to walk away from whatever this is. Yeah, under that is the 7 of Swords. Something that could be something that you could have been deceived about. But nonetheless, your inner child needs you to know that you've done enough. You've done enough, and I feel like you might be feeling like you haven't done enough, and your inner child is like, no, you've done enough. You need to rest before I make you rest. Maybe you've been doing a lot in terms of like, you're not, because like, we've got the Four of Cups here, and we've got the Five of Pentacles, both in reverse. And maybe you have been upset lately because you haven't been getting any offers for something. Maybe you feel like you need money for something, or like you've been going through some sort of hardship. And so you're trying to get out of that, and your inner child is like, no, it's time to rest. Enjoy this rest period. You are okay. This might be my group. But yeah, there's, just because like you feel like there's all these things going on, it doesn't mean that you need to like dive headfirst into whatever you're trying to do. This might be like, there might not be anything happening, because the spirit is trying to make sure that you know that, hey, no matter what goes on, you are taken care of. So just take this time to actually rest. Don't do anything. Enjoy the time that you have. Enjoy all this time that you have. Maybe do the things that you normally don't get to do, because maybe you're like me, I'm currently unemployed, and because you don't have that job, it's like, yeah, you have the stress of like, you need the money and all that other stuff, but maybe there's some things that because of, maybe the previous job that you had, you didn't have a whole lot of time to do the things that you actually enjoy doing. Take that time now that you don't have like a whole bunch on your plate to do the things that you actually enjoy doing. Don't let yourself become so stressed over all these things. You never know, because you're doing the activities that you usually love doing, spirit might come to you and just, or not even just spirit, but like the universe might turn things to where, okay, now that you've done this thing, we finally have it to where we can get you. Sorry, I thought I saw a bird. We can finally get you in alignment with this opportunity. So use this time to just rest. Play that game you've been wanting to play for forever. See that friend that you've always wanted to see, that you haven't seen in forever. Either way, now is not the time to be doing a whole bunch of things. And your inner child wants you to know that, like, you've done enough. It's time to walk away from trying to do all the things and putting in the grind and all that other stuff, and it's time to rest. So, with that being said, we're going to get into what do they want you to heal? Holding it in reverse. Inner child, what do you want group 3 to heal? We've got progressions with journey. And we've also got Taurus. This really might be my group because I'm a Taurus. I have a Taurus stellium. But we got, Taurus with cultivate. We've got Juno with partnership. And we've got Mars with emotion. Your inner child really wants you to heal this part of you that feels like you always need to grind for something. Because we've got Mars with motion, and Mars is the planet of like action, You might want to look into what your Mars sign is, and because it could tell you how you like going about taking action, and maybe start doing the opposite of that. For example, I'm a Virgo Mars, so I like to do things, and I'm a very much a perfectionist in the way that I do things. I need to plan things out meticulously. Like everything needs to have a plan to it. I don't just do things willy-nilly. Like even with the way I do readings, I didn't used to do this, but now I've gotten into the habit of always, writing out like what I'm gonna do, like what questions am I going to ask during the reading, just so that way the reading becomes a little bit more organized. Because I know that when I start channeling, there's no. I need something to follow so that way I can get my thoughts across in an organized manner. But yeah, so maybe that's a part of you that needs to be healed. Is like maybe you're like me and you're a complete perfectionist when it comes to the things that you do. So maybe that's a part of you that needs to be healed. With Juno, it might be helpful to look at your Juno placement as well. I don't know what my Juno is, but Juno is the, I think it's an asteroid, or it's either an asteroid or a moon. But they say that, if you're looking to see who you're going to marry or something like that, you look to your Juno planet. Like if you want to know like more about them, type of deal. You should, sorry, but like 2 kids just popped up along the road because I'm facing the road in the room that I'm in. But Juno can tell you more about your future partner, and this is somebody that's going to be like a long-term partner. So maybe you need to heal your relationships, like your romantic relationships, or even just any relationships in your life. Yeah, like heal your feelings towards them. If you've had any maybe like trauma in terms of like your relationships in the past, like your friendships or romantic relationships. I'm not even going to touch family because sometimes that's just not fixable. But yeah, you might be needing to heal things in that realm. And then with Taurus is the 2nd house, and the 2nd house is really about your self-worth, and also your resources. Your self-worth, your resources, the material things. So maybe heal your relationship with those things. Now with progressions, I'm not super familiar with that, so I'm going to look into the book. Number 56, which reduces to 11, so 11 might be an important number. We've also got 2, 31, and 22. Oh, 222. So, let's see. Progressions. The planets continuously move through time and space. When you were born, you imprint the patterns of that moment, which are described in your natal chart or your birth chart. But the planets keep moving, and you also imprint the patterns they make as they progress through those first few months. These progressions sketch out the big sweeping journey of your life. You live that pattern out at roughly the rate of a year to a day for the rest of your life. Once you're born, you can't choose the cycles you live through, but you can always choose how you respond. Yes. So I really feel like this is something that your inner child wants you to heal, is healing how you respond to the things that go on in your life. Because yes, we all have free will, but there's just some things that we're destined to go through. And I'm going to say this, destined to go through based upon the choices that we make. So you have the choice to respond to those things in a specific way. So how are you choosing to respond to that situation, of that your inner child needed you to know about, you know? Are you choosing to, continue to grind and hustle, or are you going to actually listen and rest? Because, you could watch this reading and then just be like, oh, I hear you, and then you continue doing what you were doing out of panic. Or you can choose to just rest and allow yourself to enjoy the time that you have to yourself and actually work on things that you want to work on that you can't really do that when you're working for like a 9 to 5 or something like that. So that's something that your inner child wants you to heal, is your relationship with choosing how to do things, or choosing how you respond to things. So how does your inner child want you to take care of them? How do you want them to take care of you, inner child? I'm going to use this 3. You've got family. So maybe lean more on your family at this time. It could be really, depending on your relationship with you. Actually, I will say this. Family does not necessarily mean the people that are blood related to you. It could also be your found family. So, blood family, found family, lean more on your family at this time. Because, they could be more than willing to help you and you just haven't reached out. Then we've got burning bowl ritual. So, take some things. I'm pretty sure burning bowl ritual came out in group 1. So you might have some messages in group 1 as well. But if you have a fire pit or just a fire safe bowl, get a fire going, and then write down the things that you want to let go of or release, and have a whole little thing where you're just like, okay, I've written these things down, and when I put this into the fire, I'm letting them go officially. If you really want it to be potent, and when I say potent, I mean like, hey, I'm truly going to let go of these things, and I'm ready. If you're not ready to actually let go of them, don't do it on a bay leaf, because it's going to be ripped away from you, truly. Write these things down on a bay leaf and burn the bay leaf. But yeah, and then the next thing we've got, this sucks, and I can't show the card because the YouTube algorithm will be upset with me. But yeah, tap into that little freaky side of yours, maybe you have been celibate for a really long time, so maybe do a hookup real quick, or if you have somebody that you trust, start exploring that just a little bit, something, I'm not really sure why your inner child would want you to heal that. I spoke about it in the first group, so there's a part of it that I spoke about in the first group, that if you really feel called to, check out the first group, and because I don't want to do a trigger warning again. But anyways, nonetheless, if you feel called to the first group, then go to the first group and receive that message. But let's get some final advice. That was quick. Okay. Protect your home. Take care of your sacred spaces. Yeah, this is a time your inner child really just wants you to, at the end of the day, protect the space that you're in. Wherever you call home, protect that space. Make sure you feel, not even just like protect it from other people, like protect it for yourself, so that way you feel safe in that space. You know, maybe you live in an apartment right now, and or you know, you rent a room or something like that, and it might be a really good idea to, if you haven't done this, like haven't tried to make it feel more like home, maybe start doing that. Make it feel more comfortable. That way it feels like a safe space to you. That way when you come home, if you go anywhere and you come home, you are breathing a sigh of relief and you're just like, ah, I'm home. You know, give yourself that. I feel like your inner child really, really needs it. So yeah, that's all that I have for you. Thank you guys so much for tuning into this reading. If you like the video, please give it a big thumbs up. It really helps me and supports my channel. Comment down below. Tell me what readings you would like to see in the future. You can also give me animes that you would like me to do readings based upon. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please hit the subscription button and also the post notification bell so you never miss out on my next reading. It is free to subscribe. Just saying, it don't hurt. If you're looking for a private reading, those are available in my Etsy shop. And then I'm also starting to do collective readings, like shorter collective readings on TikTok, so feel free to follow me there as well. That will be linked down below. And yeah, that's all that I have for you guys. Thank you guys again so much for trusting me to read your cards, and I'll see you in the next one.